I've been so busy with work shit and life shit, creating content and paying bills that I almost forgot that I was single. The 2 jobs, YouTube, and the countless side hustles were starting to get to me. Plus, I want to spend some time in the ladies' company. It'd been over a year since I broke up with the ex, and it was time for me to move on. If I'm being totally truthful with myself, it was closer to 2 years, but I didn't see the point in admitting that to myself at this point. What I will admit is that right now, even boring and unattractive was better than single and single. So I pulled out my phone and began swiping. I swiped a bunch of rights for a bunch of different reasons. Looks, body, and the occasional interest in common. Then I swiped a bunch of lefts for no chance in hell. I reached out to all my right swipes with a good morning. My name is Brett. I like your profile and pics. I hope that you take a moment to check out my profile and respond with any interest. I use this line so often it began to show up word for word in my predictive text. If you were just texting one person, I can understand you taking your time and constructing a message that made you sound exactly the way you want it to be perceived. No cap. If a man begins a text with, "You are so sexy, I love your lips," he is definitely wanting to get together as soon as possible to have sex. The only women who generally responded to these kind of short, thoughtless messages were the ones who also had a shared objective to have sex. After posting my standard message to 10 or 20 right stripes, I switched apps. Before I could jump on social media and see what the best lives in my timeline were doing, I got a reply from a right swipe. I opened the app back up and went to see what my message had fished me out of the dating pool this time. I opened the message. It was a repeat of everything I just said to her verbatim. So I went ahead and checked her profile. Like I said, I was only swiping, so aside from having the looks, the body, and the occasional interest in common, I knew nothing about her. Truth be told, I really didn't care at this point. I was just tired of being by myself. She was a 5'4" yoga instructor / gas station employee with open chakras and a love for tacos, traveling, and the ocean. I didn't know exactly what a chakra was, but she was single, attractive, and she replied. We spent the next few days exchanging the same good morning messages. At times we add a few suggestive phrases indicating our willingness to get together at some point. Like I said, I was tired of being by myself, so I guess it was that time to take the lead and take things to another level. I invited her out for drinks. I mean, hell, I can't think of a better way to loosen a woman up quickly than providing free drinks and good company. And I was good company. At least I thought I was. So I made my move. Via Messenger, of course, I typed, "When are you free to get together?" No reply. I looked at her profile and it wasn't lit up green, which meant that she wasn't online. I sent another message. "Here's my number. I just want to make sure I don't miss your text." Double love eye emoji right back at you. I took a closer look at her profile, but this time I was looking for flaws. Anything that I may have overlooked during one of my swiping sessions. And lo and behold, there it was, the flaw. All of her photos were filtered. The scary part about that is that the right filter can not only smooth out your skin, it can change the size of your nose, straighten the color of your teeth, and conceal 15 pounds of taco. I took to social media and began searching through her profiles on other sites. My plan was to go back through her profile pics and find some that she took before filters became so popular. I found a few pics of a slightly less attractive her with no makeup and no filter. She wasn't bad. From the pics on social media, she was exactly who she said she was. There were a few of her at the fitness center, a couple of pics of her with a bunch of employees in front of the gas station, and a bunch of posts about higher vibration and melanin. So either she was all that she said she was, or her social media identity was a flawless lie. I went back to Datarama to see if she responded. She replied with basically the same message that I sent to her, but this time she also added, "I don't usually give out my number," ! At the end. I replied with an emoji, a big red heart, which was my way of saying that I was glad that she saw me as being special enough to give her number to. But I was actually thinking, girl, please. I bet your number is posted on all of your social media accounts, which basically meant, come one, come all. So we texted via phone for a while that evening. Around 6 or 7, she was sending cute pics of her at work, out with her friends, or at the gym. I commented and hit it enough to make her feel comfortable enough to send me more provocative pics. It was just the invitation she needed to open up the vault, because by the end of the night, she was naked. Virtually, of course. I went through the phases and acted surprised to see the pics as if she just took her clothes off and laid down just for me. But the side of my brain that knew how easy it was to find company online knew that she hadn't taken those pics for me, nor was I the first one to see them. They were just faceless stock nudes. I told her that I would delete the pics, but that was a lie. People never actually delete nudes unless they need to hide them from someone. Plus, they were a necessary part of online dating. Especially for men, let me tell you why. Nudes are like breadcrumbs that a woman leaves behind so that a man can always find their way back to them. Even if things didn't work out right the first time, a guy be sitting at home late one night looking for attention. They scroll through their collection of nudes to figure out whose inbox to jump into. That's when you receive the famous 3-letter text. WYD. What are you doing? With an eggplant in the end. The eggplant is the most relevant emoji in the male phone after 10 p.m. So the night finally arrives, drinks and dinner. The one opportunity you have to back up all the shit that you sent endless text messages about. How much money you make, what you drive, what you eat, how you live, and how good you are in bed. It was around 6:30 when I got the text. It began, "I'm so sorry." This can end two ways. One, I can't make it tonight, so I hope we can reschedule. Or two, I'm running late. Her text read, "I won't be finished until late, like 1 a.m. So perhaps I can just come over afterwards." I quickly replied, "Cool. I'm always up that late. Just hit me up when you finish. I'll still be up," in capital letters, "but call me just to make sure." Eggplant emoji. Her reply, "I'm counting on it." Dead face emoji. Drooling emoji. Devil emoji. No explanation should be necessary, but basically, it meant that we were hooking up tonight. As the hour drew near, I began to think about how I took this woman from "I like your profile" to coming over my house at 1 o'clock for eggplant. Thinking can get dangerous though. I began to think, that's all she wanted from me anyway. I wonder how many men she sent those pics to. I popped online to Datorama and she was green, which meant she was online. I quickly jumped back offline so that she wouldn't see that I was online and start thinking the same thing that I was starting to think about her at the moment. Then I did more thinking. What the hell do I need with a woman who wants to come over my house at 1 a.m. for eggplant? She filters all of her pics and she can't stay off of Datorama. For all I know, she's probably coming over my house from some other dude's place without even stopping home to shower. That's just rude. The thought of another man's cheap cologne on her clothes and dick on her breath was too much for me to deal with tonight. Besides, I have standards. I don't date gas station attendants. My social media timeline is filled with beautiful, classy women who keep their clothes on. And here this woman is talking about coming over at 1 a.m. for eggplant. Hell, she probably steals. She might even be one of those women looking to add a new stream of income with a brand new bouncing baby boy. You know what? I can do better. So at 1:01 a.m. she texts, "What's up, baby? You still up for the night?" Hearted eye emoji. I didn't reply. I just shook my head thinking, it's 1 in the morning. Who texts a man at 1 a.m. unless they're out here just thirsty? Next text. "I bet you went to sleep on me." Sad face. The next text came in at 2 a.m. "I'm getting sleepy and I think I'm just going to go home. I'm tired of waiting. I had a few too many and really didn't want to drive all the way back home." Hint, hint. A few minutes later, my phone rings. I don't answer. 2 missed calls. 3 missed calls. Then my voicemail dings. "If you didn't want to get together, why didn't you just be a man and say that instead of playing me off? I don't like men who play games." Then a text message. "Lose my number." I hit block and rolled over and went to sleep. I don't have time for this. I'm looking for a real connection.